Across cultures and traditions, one of the deepest rules of religion has been to teach human beings how to face death. Not merely how to explain it, but how to meet it with dignity, clarity, and care. When death is excluded from view, life quietly becomes distorted, driven by avoidance, excess, or denial. When death is integrated, life becomes honest. Buddhism is not unique because it speaks about death, but because of how directly it asks us to look. The Buddha did not approach death symbolically or abstractly. He introduced contemplative disciplines designed to break through our deeply rooted dissonance, our habit of knowing intellectually that we die, while living emotionally as if we will not. In the early Buddhist teachings, monks were instructed to contemplate the body by observing its natural decomposition, sometimes directly in charnel grounds, where bodies were left to return to the elements. This practice was not undertaken for shock, punishment, or morbid curiosity. It was a precise tool for insight. The corpse was never the point. Recognition was always the point. The Buddha consistently instructed practitioners to reflect, "This body of mine is of the same nature. It will be like that. It is not exempt." The contemplation works only when the practitioner understands that what they are seeing is not a body, but their own trajectory. When that recognition lands, denial weakens and clarity begins. Facing our own mortality can be anxiety-inducing, and the Buddhist path does not deny this. Anxiety here is not a failure of practice. It is often the first sign of honesty. What matters is not whether fear arises, but whether it is understood. Unexamined mortality drives craving and distraction. Examined mortality becomes urgency with wisdom. In Buddhism, this urgency is called samvega, a sobering clarity that life is fragile, time is limited, and choices matter. The recognition of our mortality is also the recognition of the opportunity of our lives. Not urgency without care, but action with skill. Each intention matters because conditions do not wait. This understanding was not only contemplated, it was worn. Early monks practiced pamsukula, collecting discarded cloth, sometimes even from the charnel grounds, washing and sewing it into robes. In a very real sense, monastics are already wearing their burial shrouds. Their robes are a continuous reminder, this body too will be abandoned. This is not pessimism, nor is it a rejection of life. It is humility. By wearing impermanence, monks rehearse relinquishment long before their death arrives. What falls away is not joy, but entitlement, the assumption that we are exempt from change. Most of us will never meditate in a charnel ground, and that is not required. The Buddha taught according to conditions. Today we can integrate the same insight through simpler means, observing natural decay in the world around us, or reflecting on aging, or even recognizing the skull already present beneath our faces. The point is not imagery, it is honesty. When death is integrated, it no longer haunts the edges of life. It stands at the center, not as a threat, but as a teacher. The Buddha did not ask us to stare at death in despair. He asked us to look clearly enough that we stop wasting the life we still have.